Well, good morning and greetings, business communication students. This is Mr. Doucette. This is week 5 in our 18-week course in business communications, BUS88 here at Chafy College. And this week you're going to be looking at drafting business messages. So as I mentioned last week, you are kind of at the beginning stages of the business writing aspects of this class, and that'll cover most of module number 2. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And oops. There we go. And oops, there we go. All right, so here we are on the home page in Canvas, and I'm just going to take a look at what you should be working on this week. So we're still in module number 1 for another week or two. And so at the end of module number 1, you'll be turning in your individual presentation as well as your discussion posts, and then we'll be starting actually doing some business writing. But the chapters you're working on now, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4, are all dealing with the topic of business writing and putting together a document or a presentation. And certainly you start with planning and then you continue with drafting and actually writing something and preparing something. And then you're going to end with completing or revising it. And that's what chapter 4 is all about. So chapter 3 is in the middle of that, and it's the drafting business messages. So that's what we'll be looking at this particular week. So I'm going to scroll down here to week number 5, and it's actually quite a simple week. I'm going to go ahead and move your discussion posts down because that's something that you're working on continually throughout the first module, as well as your individual presentation. And that's the assignment where you're recording a video of you giving a presentation. You can do it all in PowerPoint. Hopefully you've watched the instructions on that or watched the Zoom session we did. But those are 2 major assignments for module number 1. And then in addition to that, you do have a check-in assignment. That's going to be some questions out of chapter 3. I kind of pinpoint what's important. And then you're going to be looking at, you have a PowerPoint as well, and then you're going to be doing a quiz on chapter 3. And again, chapter 3 deals with, drafting business messages, and then we're going to be picking up chapter 4 after we have our first exam. So next week is your first exam, and just so you know, you actually have that's all you have to do. So I think this week, to be honest, your discussion post is due and your individual presentation are due, so that way you can focus your entire week next week on just completing your first exam. Now, if for some reason you have trouble uploading either one of those assignments or completing them, I will give you a 1-week grace period. So yeah, it does say here that you have until the 23rd on that. So that'll be the same with your individual presentation, but I don't want you to feel like you've got to cram it all in next week. So feel free to get it done this week, and then that next week you can focus on your exam. So that's pretty much it. I'm just going to check the individual presentation to see when it's due, but I think it is due on, it might be due this week actually. So let's see what it says. So actually it is due this week. So your individual presentation is due this week, and then your discussion post you have until next week when you take the exam. So this is really the emphasis then this week, is really getting your individual presentation completed. And again, this is a 5-minute, and it can't be any longer than 5 minutes, a 5-minute presentation of your 4 most significant life events. And it needs to be recorded in PowerPoint or something like PowerPoint, where there's a video of you in the corner, and then you're able to actually go through your slides on the screen and everybody can see them, and then we hear your audio. And the assignment instructions explain that, but this is a high point assignment, and it's not only high point, it's weighted, so it's worth 20% of your grade. So please do not neglect that, but it's going to be due this week. So I'm going to go ahead and change that from continue individual presentation to now complete, and I'm going to change the date to this week. So that's the big assignment, and that is the big assignment for this first module. So please don't neglect that. Make sure you get it done this week. Other than that, all you really need to get done is your quiz and check-in assignment, and then the individual presentation. That's really what you should focus on getting finished this week. So if you have any problems or concerns or questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I do not have office hours, but I will meet with you if we need to. So just reach out to me via email or text, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great week, everybody, and you will see me again on video next week. Until then.